Good afternoon, one and all. Today we start our lecture number 11, module 2 in part 1. In this lecture, we are going to the concept of mini source coding theorem. And before going to this lecture, we take a review of previous lecture number 10, part 1 and part 2. In previous lecture, we are defining the terms information, its how the information will be measured, then properties of the information, as well as we also define the entropy and its properties and various terms which is related to the entropy. So let us go to the mini source coding theorem. The one of the most important problem in digital communication, the efficient representation of the data generated by the discrete memoryless source or discrete source. The process by which this representation is achieved, that process is called as a source encoding, and the device which performs the source encoding is called as a source encoder. So in any manner, whenever the data is available in raw format, means in the probability format, that time we require the efficient representation of that data in digital communication system. For that purpose, we use the process that is a source encoding. So we know that it is a digital format, that times means the bits are required. The bits are represented in the binary format. So discrete memoryless source, which is to be represent in very efficient manner, so we can convert it into binary sequence with the help of source encoder. That process is called as a source encoding with the help of a device which processes this source encoding, that is called as a source encoder, and which represent a discrete memoryless source into binary sequence. So this is a procedure of the source encoding. In order to make the source encoder more efficient, we need to know the statistic of the source, means in the form of probability. That means the source of the symbols which have higher probability should assign with the shorter code words, whereas the source symbol with a lower probability occurrence should transmit with a longer code. Such source code having variable length of the code. So it means we can say that a discrete memoryless source, a source symbol which in very higher probability, they are transmitted in binary representation with a very small size of the code word, means length of this code word is very small, and the discrete memoryless source symbol which has very less probability, they are transmitted with a very large number of binary bits. The variable code word length for the less probability is higher. So that is the process. So what are the requirements for the efficient source encoder? The code word produced by the source encoder in binary form, that is the first requirement. The source encoder should be uniquely decodable so as reconstruction is original source sequence perfectly from the encoded binary sequence. So second requirement says that whenever the source encoder will generate a binary sequence which is to be unique, and it should be reconstructed at the receiver side, its original format. So that is the second objective. Now let us consider this block diagram. A discrete memoryless source with a source encoder, then the code word which is generated by the source encoder, we calculate the average code word length for the source encoder, that is denoted by capital letter L. L is equal to summation k equal to 1 up to m pk, where pk is the probability of each symbol in given message, into length of the message mk bits. So length of individual bits. So we can given the formula average code word length is equal to summation k equal to 1 up to m pk into lk, where pk is the probability of individual symbol in the message or source, discrete memberless source, and lk is the length of a message of each individual bits or symbol or source. So average code word we can calculate using this formula. This is an equation number 1. Now let us go, what is L parameter? What is L represents? L parameter represents the average number of bits per source symbol. So how many number of bits will be consumed by the each source symbol, that can be represented by the average code word length used to process the source encoding. So this is the use in source coding. Then to calculate the coding efficiency in terms of the minimum average code word length and the average code word length. So coding efficiency that is denoted by letter eta. So L minimum divided by L. So this is a source coding efficiency. We can given by this equation. This is equation number 2. Now source coding theorem. A given discrete memberless source of entropy H and the average code word length, that is capital L, for any source encoding is bounded by, that is the equation. This is the statement. L is greater than or equal to H. So first theorem states that the average code word length should always be greater than or equal to the source entropy, that is H. So from this mean L minimum is equal to H. So minimum average code word length is equal to the your entropy. So code efficiency is equal to nothing but the H divided by L, where H is the entropy and the L is the average code word length. So in order to increase the efficiency of source encoder, we discuss 2 algorithms. That is, first one is a Shannon-Fano algorithm and second one is a Huffman coding. So in next lecture part 2 we can see the Shannon-Fano algorithm. So we can stop here. We can see in next lecture the Shannon-Fano algorithm and Huffman coding algorithm. So we can stop here. Thank you.